What happens when a company that sells $128 leggings gets sued by, wait for it, Costco? The warehouse store where you buy toilet paper in bulk just became Lululemon's biggest nightmare. And this story reveals everything wrong with premium pricing in today's economy. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Finance Simplified, and today we're diving into one of the most fascinating business battles of 2025. This isn't just about yoga pants, it's about how entire business models can crumble when they lose touch with reality. So grab your favorite drink and let's break down why Lululemon just lost $24 billion in value, and why this matters for every investor and consumer. First, let's understand what we're dealing with. Lululemon isn't just selling athletic wear, they've built something much more powerful, a lifestyle cult. Picture this. You walk into one of their 700+ stores, and everything is designed to make you feel like you're entering a wellness sanctuary. Soft lighting, bamboo fixtures, and those signature buttery soft fabrics that seem to whisper, "You deserve this luxury." But here's the genius part. They're not just selling you leggings. They're selling you an identity. When you buy those $128 Align pants, you're not just buying fabric. You're buying membership into an exclusive club of wellness warriors. You're buying the right to post those mirror selfies, attend those free yoga classes that feel more like brand worship sessions, and carry those distinctive shopping bags like trophies. This psychological strategy worked brilliantly. Lululemon generated nearly $9.6 billion in revenue in 2024. They convinced millions of people that spending more than most people's grocery budget on leggings wasn't just acceptable, it was aspirational. But then came the great humbling, and it came from the most unexpected place, Costco. Yes, the warehouse where you can buy a rotisserie chicken and a coffin in the same shopping trip. Here's what happened. Costco started selling athletic wear that looked almost identical to Lululemon's signature pieces. We're talking about scuba hoodies, Define jackets, and ABC pants. But here's the kicker. Costco's version was priced at $19.97 compared to Lululemon's $100+ price tags. Let me put this in perspective. That's like finding a Rolex that tells time just as well for $50 instead of $5,000. Social media exploded. TikTok influencers started posting dupe hauls showing side-by-side comparisons that looked virtually identical. The hashtag #dupe has over 6 billion views on TikTok. That's not just a trend, that's a massive shift in consumer behavior. People were literally saying, why would I pay 5 times more for the same thing? So Lululemon did what any company facing an existential crisis would do. They sued. But this lawsuit reveals something fascinating about how businesses protect their competitive advantages. Lululemon's argument boils down to 3 main points. First, they claim trademark infringement. They're essentially saying, we own the look and feel of these designs. They've spent decades building brand recognition, and they argue Costco is stealing their visual identity. Second, they claim consumer confusion. Here's where it gets interesting. Costco's Kirkland brand is often manufactured by the same companies that make name brand products. Think about it, the same factory that makes Duracell batteries also makes Kirkland batteries. Lululemon argues this creates confusion about who's actually making these products. Third, they point to legal precedent. They've successfully sued other companies before, including Peloton, and won partnerships rather than ongoing legal battles. But here's where the legal experts start raising eyebrows. One trademark attorney called Lululemon's claim over a triangle shape in the crotch region of pants really far-fetched. They pointed out that functional design elements, things that exist because they serve a purpose, not just for branding, usually can't be trademarked. This is like trying to trademark the concept of pockets because they're functional, not decorative. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where the story gets really interesting. Lululemon's stock didn't just decline, it crashed. In June 2025, after disappointing earnings, Lululemon's stock plummeted over 20% in a single period. Their market value collapsed from a peak of $46 billion to $22 billion. To put that in perspective, they lost more money in market value than most companies are worth entirely. But the warning signs were already there. US comparable sales fell 2% in Q1 2025. Inventory surged 23% year over year to $1.7 billion. Revenue only grew 7%, meaning they're sitting on way too much unsold merchandise. Tariffs created about 100 basis points of gross margin pressure. JP Morgan, one of the most respected investment banks, slashed their price target from $389 to $303. That's not just a small adjustment, that's a fundamental reassessment of the company's value. What's happening here is what economists call a market correction. When a company's pricing gets too disconnected from the value customers perceive, the market eventually forces a reality check. This lawsuit represents something much bigger than just athletic wear. It's about what happens when premium brands meet economic reality. Think about the timing. We've just been through a pandemic, inflation, and economic uncertainty. Consumers are being much more careful with their money. When people are worried about rent and groceries, spending $128 on leggings starts to feel less like self-care and more like financial irresponsibility. The dupe culture isn't just about being cheap, it's about being smart. Consumers are essentially saying, we figured out that we can get 90% of the benefit for 20% of the cost. This is happening across industries. People are buying generic medications instead of brand names, shopping at discount stores instead of department stores, and choosing function over brand status. From an investment perspective, this tells us something crucial about business models. Companies that rely heavily on brand premium without delivering proportional value are vulnerable. Lululemon's entire business model was built on the idea that people would pay extra for exclusivity and status, but when times get tough, those are the first things consumers cut. So what are the lessons here? For investors, this case study shows why it's crucial to understand the sustainability of a company's competitive advantages. Lululemon's moat, their ability to charge premium prices, wasn't as strong as it appeared. When a company's main competitive advantage is brand prestige rather than unique technology or irreplaceable functionality, that advantage can evaporate quickly. For consumers, this story demonstrates the power you have in the marketplace. When enough people choose alternatives, even the biggest brands have to adapt or face consequences. The rise of dupe culture isn't just about saving money, it's about consumers collectively deciding what value really means. For business owners, if you're running a premium brand, this should be a wake-up call. You need to constantly justify your pricing with real, demonstrable value. Brand loyalty is earned daily, not just through marketing, but through consistently delivering something customers can't get elsewhere. The fundamental question every premium brand needs to answer is, if someone can get 90% of what we offer for 20% of the price, what's our justification for that extra 80%? The Lululemon versus Costco story is really about the democratization of quality. For decades, premium brands could charge high prices because consumers didn't have easy access to alternatives. But globalization, improved manufacturing, and social media have changed that equation. Consumers now have more information, more options, and frankly, less patience for paying premium prices just for brand names. This doesn't mean premium brands are doomed, but it does mean they need to work harder to justify their pricing. Looking ahead, I think we'll see more stories like this. Companies that built their success on brand premium rather than genuine innovation will face increasing pressure. The winners will be brands that can demonstrate clear, tangible value for their pricing. What do you think? Are you Team Lululemon or Team Costco in this battle? Have you noticed yourself choosing dupes over brand names lately? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more finance education that actually makes sense. We break down complex business stories so you can make better decisions with your money and investments.